They appeared perfect together, smiles for the cameras, vacations, that home, those three beautiful children, and dreams they whispered only to each other. No one knew what they didn't know, no one except the two of them. Their little world was crumbling from the inside out. And I saw it, not with my eyes, but with my heart. Because I had loved him once too. I saw her when I moved in. She was sitting on the stairs in the dark, her silhouette stark against the moonlight that spilled through the window. We were both startled, her with my intrusion, me with the apparition of her vulnerability. For a moment, I wanted to tell her about the cracks in his facade, about his silences that screamed and his touch that lingered just a little too long on my arm, on my neck. I wanted to warn her, but I was just a new addition to this family, an outsider looking in. And besides, wasn't I just protecting my own bruised heart? We became friends, her and I, confidants in the daytime when the kids were at school. We sipped our coffee, we cooked meals together, we shopped for clothes for the kids, and we talked about him. She would listen, her eyes downcast, as I described his moods that shifted like the tides, his silences that stretched like taut wires, vibrating with unspoken words, and his coldness that seeped into my bones on winter nights. She never challenged me, never questioned what I said. She just listened, absorbing my tales like they were gospel. But then she would leave for the day, for the nights, really, because he was never around when it was dark outside. She would leave and return with stories of his grand gestures, of his charm disarmed, of his apologies and promises that were sweet nothings on her lips. I saw the hurt in her eyes, the confusion, the questions that went unanswered. I wanted to reach out to pull her down from that pedestal where I had once stood, too, and show her the view from down here. But I didn't. I could not break that illusion for her. I was too busy basking in the glow of my own righteousness. After all, he had hurt me first. One night, after he had gone, I found her in the kitchen. It was late. The kids were asleep, or so I thought. She was crying. I sat down beside her. She looked up, startled, then quickly wiped her tears away. "It's nothing," she whispered, her voice cracking. "Just a bad dream," but I saw the wet tracks on her cheeks, the tremor in her hands, the turmoil in her eyes. "He was drinking again tonight," she said, her voice breaking. "And he stayed out late as usual, saying he had work to do. But you know, it's always the same. He comes home late, reeking of stale liquor and regret, and he fights with shadows that only he can see. Then he goes out again, this time to find oblivion. And I am left here, wondering if he will ever come back." Her voice trailed off into the silence of the night. For a moment, we sat in companionable silence, united in our grief and understanding. But then I spoke, and the words tumbled out of my mouth like stones cast in a still pond, rippling outward in circles of pain. "You don't understand, do you?" I said, my voice shaking with barely suppressed emotion. "None of us did. He never changed. Do you see? He was always like this. The drinking, the silences, the coldness, the betrayals. It never stopped. It just kept going, getting worse with every passing day. And you were just a new face, a new conquest. You never saw the darkness that lurked beneath his charm, the emptiness that echoed in his laughter. I stopped, my heart pounding in my chest, waiting for her response, bracing myself for the hurt in her eyes. But she wasn't looking at me. She was staring at the floor, her fingers twisted in her apron. Finally, she looked up, and in her eyes, I saw not anger or denial, but a terrible sadness. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice hoarse. I needed to hear that. With that, she turned and fled, leaving me alone in the kitchen with my words and my regrets. It was only a matter of time before the end came. They fought one night, their voices echoing in the darkness, their words like daggers in the night. I heard her scream, "Why? Why are you doing this to us?" His reply was lost to the wind, but the hurt in her voice resonated in my bones. In the morning, I found her gone. The house was silent, too silent. Where was the music that always played in the background, the laughter, the chatter, the life that pulsed in the very walls? I wandered through the empty rooms, touching the furniture as if seeking solace in its familiarity, and I wept for her, for us, for the shattered dreams that lay in ruins around me. Even the strongest bonds can be shattered by hidden desires and betrayal.